Oh, is it already recording?
That's how you wake up, dude.
That's how we'll cut the intro in. This might actually be I shouldn't say that. I haven't obviously overlaid the music yet. I think it would be cool to start it off with a little bit of moderation.
It's a beautiful song.
You wanna just pretend like we're listening to it right now and we'll just do a super long fade?
So it's what we're listening to while we're rolling the split.
Hell yeah, as you should be too. What's up, everybody? You're taking a smoke break with Blue Anderson. And I have today with us the return of two people who have been on the program respectively, but this is the first time we have them on together. Introduce to you Frater SK, Steven, and the Goatman, Tristan Higgins. How y'all doing today?
I'm doing pretty good tonight. Just trying to wake up right now.
I'm doing pretty fantastic myself. It's been a beautiful day, even as rainy and gloomy as it was. You know, pretty meditative for me those kind of days.
It was nice earlier. I took a little nap. It was saying it was starting raining when I went to sleep, and I woke up when it was dark.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so nice earlier.
I love these early May mornings where you just step outside and you just get hit with the breeze. It's like inhaling warm honey and wet pine needles. It's a good time.
And I went on a nice little hike this morning into town, and I was walking up the hill in Froro, and the wind was the breeze was coming at my face steady. I was like, oh, this is perfect. I couldn't have air conditioned that moment any better.
And you walked from here to town?
Yeah.
Wow, you are a monster, brother.
I don't think I've ever done that before all the way
Really?
through. I mean, I know it's only about 7 miles, but...
Dude, I do it once every couple weekends.
Dude, you should give it a shot. It's pretty good for you.
I'll put it on the bucket list.
Actually, hell
That'll
yeah.
be number 41.
I don't know. Even me, by the time I'm getting into close to town, by the time I'm walking up on the dump, I'm oh, even my back is hurting. My knees start getting a little achy. I'm getting old.
It's the pleasures of living past 25. Your knees start to buckle, and
I remember I was I think I was probably maybe I was 20 or 21, working in a coffee house, and I had this coworker who was literally a year or two older than me. And there was one time she got up from putting something down under a shelf with the craziest grunt, and she's like, one day you'll understand when you get to my age. And I'm pretty sure it was around 23 or so that I was okay, I get it. But yeah, I don't know. I also had this thing when I'm hiking, once I get really, really far in, miles in, I start not picking up my feet as much, so I'll start tripping on the way, but
just hitting it with the penguin shuffle.
sometimes you just gotta be a soldier.
Fuck, I felt that in my heart. A lot of last year, I wasn't going on any hikes. That was the beginning of the path that I'm on now. I know old Bane Man, or Tiki Steve, took me and his buddy.
Shout out Tiki Steve!
He took us all on a hike over to the Thompson Hollow waterfall, and Jesus Christ, I wasn't ready for it.
What is the elevation of Thompson Hollow?
Dude, it's actually the tallest mountain out here that I've been on. It's about 3,400.
And how high does Skyline go?
Skyline Drive?
Yeah.
Or?
That's a bit.
I don't know. I don't think it's that high, but I'm not real well versed on altitudes.
Yeah.
feet above sea level.
Let me check for Thompson Hollow, though. I believe it's between 32 to 3,400.
I know the tallest mountain on the East Coast, I'm pretty sure, is in North Carolina.
Wait, for real?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, but you'd have to fact check that. I'm not exactly positive. I just know my buddy John Longleary said he was going to visit it. Shout outs John Longleary.
Is it the guy that you had on that rap song with you?
No, you're thinking of Delaney.
Oh, yeah.
John Longleary was the bass player on the two Favorite Shade EPs.
Mm.
He did bass on songs like Heartbreaker Vibes and What's What.
Mm. Well, shout out both Delaney and John Longleary.
Yeah, big shout out Delaney. I was just up in Alexandria recording the music video for Not Trying to Flex. So we're still out here doing our best, trying not to flex. But that music video should be out, from what I understand, by the end of the month. So that's something exciting to look forward to.
How many songs have you even been working on and or put out this year so far?
I don't know. It's hard to gauge a count, because this has been the year where it's I don't know, 2022, I feel like it was probably 2022. I went and downloaded the software, Ableton, started trying to learn, figure out my way around that, and it's been, quite the process. But it was 2022, I feel like I was learning. 2023, I was sort of really trying to hone in what I had learned. And then this year I'm just really I put myself on album mode, and that's why I wanted to say it's been so long since the last smoke break. It's dope to have both y'all here, but the main reason it's been so long since the last smoke break, word to anybody who might be watching right now, is I have been on album mode. So this album, I'm pretty sure is going to have about 20 tracks. A lot of them have been already released, Hedonism, Moderation, Hypnopomnia. Some things that are SoundCloud exclusives, like Temptation. I'll overlay that right now, and we can just let's just let's just pretend we're listening to that. But wait, it's a slow song, so
I know Moderation and Hedonism definitely got me through last year.
Hell yeah. And for real, that means a lot to me, because back when I had first started writing music, I was going through some shit, and I was if someone can just relate, or if this music helps somebody get through a hard time, the music I was listening to helped me get through a hard time, my hard times, that it's worth it to me. That whatever it took to write it, to record it, to get it out there, it's worth it if anybody out there if someone else can relate to it, or if it helps someone else get through a hard time. So, I've received, very favorable, sort of reviews on the music so far. But to me, people saying I use the music because it really helps me relax, or when you say it helped you get through the breakup, that shit is what means the most to me. People can be oh yeah, that shit's fire all they want, but it's at the end of the day, it's not I don't necessarily just make music for people to have high opinions on it musically. I make music to resonate with people,
I understand. That's where a lot of the great art becomes memorable, That's another reason why I like to write every other day when I get the chance. I do, you're on album mode. I've been on trying to finish 2 books, but I'm only close to finishing the 1 poetry book.
Well, wait, hold up. So I did also, I wanted to touch on that during this smoke break, because I'm pretty sure the last smoke, it may have been the last episode.
Oh, yeah.
But the last time you were on, you were announcing the Year of Fire.
Well, yeah, and then thankfully that's been out since, I believe, January 7th. Shit, yeah, the last one was like at the end of October.
Yeah, and I haven't taken a smoke break with y'all since like that since last year. It's been since last year. I'm sorry, but I've been giving y'all music. But you have another paperback on the way.
Yeah, the first
I want to say
paperback.
it, but I'm gonna let you say the title, announce your paperback, and can you give us a release date? I feel like I've seen you say it on Facebook, so I don't think it's a secret.
Oh yeah, I have my rough draft right here. The cover's definitely going to change. I had a very close friend of mine make one for me recently, but it's a slice of life, and the subtext is in hiragana. Just a personal choice that I wanted to mess around with. But I know the hiragana is Yagi to Chisana Hana, which in the most simple English is just a goat and a little flower. Definitely something that resonated me in like my mainline path towards sobriety, because when you cut everything back down, the only thing I could really think of that encapsulated my soul was just being a goat on the mountain and always respecting the flowers I've seen along the way.
Yeah, like the what do they call you, the yogster?
Oh yeah, the Yogster. Which I have been signing a lot of my stuff with the hiragana Yagi.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's good to switch it up every year. Yeah, it's gonna definitely cut production cost, and I haven't had a cheaper book that's paperback, but I've been putting a lot of love into this thing. But June 10th, I'm gonna have it out.
And this is gonna be your what, 3rd book?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, fuck the heck. Hell yeah.
I think, and then also, so that comes out June 10th. I think June 15th, on the 1-year anniversary of Hedonism, I'll be announcing the album.
Oh, so June's a big month.
Delphi, which I think that's the first time. No, I sort of like alluded to the name in on Instagram, but yeah. So big things. Do you have anything you're plotting or planning?
Just a lot of chaos gardening. It's a new. Well, I guess it's not a new thing, but it's a new thing for me because I've never knew it was a thing. But this is just how nature gardens itself. You know how how like those like kind of like prickly seeds will like stick on the deer and birds, or like birds will like carry seeds places and whatnot. Well, chaos gardening in a human sense is literally just grabbing or just having an absurd amount of seeds, and then you're just tossing that shit behind you or anywhere. You're just tossing it.
It is just survival of the fittest.
And it works because there were some videos I was watching where it's like nature knows what to do.
You know our neighbors up the street there,
The ones with the goats?
Yeah, they that's how or from what I've been told, that's how like folks in the Philippines plant. They plant the same way. They'll just get their seeds that they need. You know, they don't do it like row for row like how Appalachian farmers are. They'll just get the seeds like that, and like depending, I mean, they'll know what the seeds are, but they'll like toss it like that and see what happens.
And see, that makes me really want to like be like the Johnny Appleseed or the Coco Pelly. You know, Johnny Appleseed's got the apple seeds. Coco Pelly of the Midwest, you know, Native American man. He's the one spreading the corn seeds. I'm spreading that kush, man. I'm just taking all those females and I'm just tossing.
I'm just T-Dog Onion Bowl.
Hell yeah.
Dude,
oh man, I look forward to that.
Now that I have the lawn mowed, I don't know. I still have dreams of my pentagram garden.
You know what's funny is as soon as you guys,
It's all
As
good.
soon as you finally start having your lawn mowed, all I see people post on the Greater Front Royal page or the
Lawn mowers?
No, is that they're talking about don't mow your lawn.
Oh yeah, like
because save the bees.
that's what I was doing. Well, that was my thing last year, and then
So bring it
everybody would
back.
give me shit about it.
Fuck them.
It is good to do that every now and again too.
No,
you know, but y'all
I'm
get.
sorry. Sorry. I thought you. F the HOA is what I'm trying to say.
Hey,
Yeah.
ain't no HOA out here.
Hell yeah.
They can't tell me that. Hey, dude,
We've always been rednecks.
up until like 2 weeks ago, if there was an HOA, they would have been out of my ass
Oh,
about
fuck.
my fucking lawn.
I'm surprised they weren't on my ass in fucking Winchester. I mean, my neighbor was though. He didn't know. I guess.
Dude, but right across the river,
Excuse me.
over by like Joelby's parents,
Yeah.
their HOA is aggressive.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I
was-
couldn't do it either. Fuck that. Fucking HOA.
I'd much rather live in my van the way I am. I might be
93.
like Dr. Seuss in here and just rhyme every time I talk.
The fucking worst kind of poets, man.
He was racist too.
Dr. Seuss?
Well, yeah, he left his
Really?
like dying wife with the other mistress while his wife was dying.
I
too.
knew that, but I
That
never,
was not racist.
I
Though.
never heard
Yeah,
he was
that's just
I never heard
sad.
allegations of racism.
Hold on, I don't want to be speaking on my booty here. Let's
Yeah.
make sure a man's right.
Oh yeah, speaking of that too, that run, I mean that elevation at Thompson Hollow, it's only like 1,300 feet.
Yeah. Is that high or low?
That's still relatively high.
That's definitely what's Buzzards Rock?
I have no idea. I don't even know what like Denver is. I know Denver is like a mile high, but like I can't think of how.
Well,
many
Denver's
feet a mile.
5,280 feet. Apparently, a lot of people looked that up because that was the first thing that came up. What was the other place I was looking at? Thompson Hollow.
Yeah, that's what I looked up earlier. It was like 1,300 feet.
Now we're all now I'm
It's
gonna have to
between
look up.
975 to 1,032 feet.
I don't know.
Tallest mountain on the East Coast.
I'm getting told Buzzards Rock is about 5,080 feet.
It has to be another fucking Buzzards Rock. There's no
That's
way
what I'm saying.
Buzzards
Like
Rock is a
Buzzards
mile
Rock in
high.
Virginia.
Mount Mitchell is the highest peak in eastern. Oh, that's one. Oh yeah, it is in North Carolina,
I was about to say,
and
what
it's
the fuck?
6,684 feet.
It's telling me 5,080 feet.
And then you go down and it says elevation's 1,701. So
I don't know who to believe now. Oh, it's telling me 2,068.
They're feeding us misinformation.
I don't believe any of you.
well, no, Thompson Hollow I definitely know is like more than 13, but I definitely felt like it was 3,200. But
These are the important questions.
mountain.
Why is Google screwing with us?
It's the attack of Skynet.
So wait, what are you planning with your chaos gardening? Is this food or is it just weed?
Both. But I'm trying to make sure that I wasn't. For the lack of, I don't want to waste time looking at this. We'll just say Dr. Seuss is not racist until I find out if he is or not.
Wait, this is a big button issue. Wait, talk about your chaos gardening for a quick second. I have to look this up because
Okay, thank
that's
you.
more. We got distracted with mountain elevation. I completely forgot you levied this allegation against.
I almost got away with it too before I brought it back up.
Was Doctor?
But with chaos gardening, it kind of started out. Well, the weed thing is starting out as more of a joke, but at the same time, who knows what seeds I'll choose? It's just I saw some videos on like Facebook Reels or either the Instagram Shorts or some whatnot Reels or whatnot, but after like a couple of once I saw what chaos gardening is and can what it can do, I didn't realize just how viable on its own. Well, I mean, and it just makes so much sense when you think about how nature does it. The seeds don't need us as long as they're outside. They just need a lot of them. Well, think about it this way, guys. That's why when it's gonna get kind of heavy, but when we do the thing, when we make babies, there's a lot of them. Not all of them make it. One does. One does. So, I mean, plants got better odds than we do.
I learned that with sunflowers last year when I first finally got my 2 rows out, man.
Yeah.
Like, not all of them will pop up, but when they do, it feels nice.
I think we got an answer.
Well, I'm just reading this thing. I kind of got lost in this article to zone back into you equating throwing the seeds and chaos gardening to fucking sex.
Oh,
but
sorry.
I don't know. This thing is alluding to images
Like, I don't think it's him being racist, but like
that were apparently racist. Let me see if there's. Yeah. I don't know.
Like I wasn't.
Like, there's like this.
That was just how they all were back then.
Yeah, that could be like people saying Looney Tunes are racist, and I don't think that's the case at all.
Well, I don't know. Like, I'm not much of like a sort of, what's the word? Like, cultural relativist.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. It's like, like.
I'm the same dude that's gonna like. I don't understand why people get upset with like if a white person wants to have dreads or if anyone wants to have dreads or I don't like to think of it as a cultural appropriation, but more cultural appreciation because those people that are getting mad are people that aren't even a part of the freaking culture a lot of the times, or they're like the really young people. But if you go to these actual countries and like you wear the same things that they do, or you're trying to actually show appreciation to the like way that they look and the life that the way that they live life, a lot of the times they're actually like they like it, they love it, they're like, hell yeah, these people love us, kind of deal. Not like when I say love, and how do I put it, I don't know how to put it. It just seems like I don't know.
I mean, like, different cultures, like, have different standpoints on different things. Yeah. But it's like, I don't know. There's no, like, complete unified opinion. When it comes to some things, like, to me, like, I feel like the dread thing is a little, like, ridiculous because it is, like, pretty much every continent had some sort of, like, style, like in ancient times had some sort of style of twisting hair. Like there's evidence of Celtic peoples and Viking cultures doing stuff like that. As well as in the North and South America, like pre-Columbian.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. When it comes to certain things, like I can empathize with cultural backlash, and in some things it's just people not really properly understanding history.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, some things it's more clear cut and some things it's more vague.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people, like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of the times the people who cry like cultural appropriation are like a sort of vocal minority of white people a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's what I see a lot of the time.
Speaking for people like indigenous cultures of various places, but at the same time, there are various cultures that have various opinions on people not of their culture using or displaying or whatever what they do. My thing is, like, how I tend to view things is, like, if someone sees something and they like it and want to sort of incorporate it into their aesthetic, that's one thing, as long as you're not trying to, like, profiteer off of someone else's culture.
That's where it's very...
If a white person goes and tries to, like, make a living off of not making, like, Navajo-style blankets, like, that's fucked up because that takes away from what the Navajo are trying to do.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, if you're a white person and you want to buy a Navajo blanket from a Navajo and have that in your home, like, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
When you, like, turn off social media sometimes, like, you just don't see any, like, maybe it's just living in small town Virginia or not being in Nova, but a lot of those issues, too, seem to, like, mainly be generated online. You know, it's interesting, like, how...
Yeah, and who knows who these pages are that, like, really, like, share and push that shit.
Because I feel like a lot of confliction and, like, argumentation just online, you know, for the most part, like... I haven't really actively seen folks, like, really get up in arms unless it's, like, a college campus or, like, you know, which it is interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, like, out here, it is really, like, quite an isolated bubble in a way.
Yeah.
But, I mean, everywhere you go, like, you know, there tends to be sort of echo chambers.
Well, thankfully, we're not a sunset town or anything like that, you know.
What's sunset town?
They're like southern towns where, like, basically...
You're talking to a Midwestern. What does that mean?
It's like a town where it's, like, after sundown, like, black people, like, they do, like...
Is it like the Purge?
Basically, yeah.
Oh.
Just don't be out at night.
A lot
of Klan activity in, like, South Carolina, mainly. There's still a bunch, like, even today, oddly enough, there's still a lot of those towns, at least, like, 100, I believe.
Damn.
From what I saw, just randomly scattered on the timeline.
Yeah, I know there are places that, like, you know, are pretty, like, stuck in the past, but, like, I don't know, like, sunset towns, those are one of those things where I've, like, heard of, but I'm like, are they, like, legitimately, like, still around?
Yeah, there's still quite a few, mainly, like, in Southern Territory, but I know I randomly brought that up because I know, I know Front Royal was, like, probably one of the last places to integrate students in the public schools. They were fucking fighting the government tooth and nail to not let it happen. I think they were the last place in America. Yeah, which I don't know, like, that's a good thing to be known for. I mean, it's definitely
not.
I mean, it's improved a lot. This town is very beautiful, but it definitely has its own past for, you know, being Helltown.
Well, I mean, like, the between the Helltown and, like, the civil rights movement and, like, Front Royal's, like, resistance of it, like, that's a long fucking journey from, like, outdoorsman outpost to fucking, you know, like, whatever, like, the integration struggle that is commemorated in, like, the plaque outside the, what is it now? Is it the Warren County Middle School or Skyline Middle School?
I think it's Skyline Middle School now.
Skyline Middle School now. But yeah, but there's a plaque outside that school on the like, story of the first black students to be able to enter that school. But I don't know, I think, like, Front Royal did at one point have, like, a relatively high, like, African American population. But yeah, I don't know. The history of a lot of these southern towns, it's unfortunate when you look at, like, you know, I don't know, like, Shenandoah school district. That's, what is that, Winchester, or is that Strasburg?
What, for what?
Shenandoah County?
No, that has to be Strasburg because Winchester's Frederick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was seeing the thing online about them, like, there's a controversy over them trying to rename their schools or wanting to rename their schools or something like that. I don't know the name of the school in question, but apparently is named after Confederate generals.
It just is what it is. Yeah.
Well, it's like how you were saying earlier, the winners are trying to write history.
Well, I don't know.
And they're trying to get rid of the old history. Because, I mean, like...
You can go to the Museum of the Shenandoah Valley, but I think it's... And see the history of the battles that are fought there. You can go to the plaques around Front Royal and see the history of the battles that were fought there. I don't think you need to have really, you know, like these schools were not built pre-civil, like during the Civil War.
So like,
when these Confederate generals were actually, fighting for the territory.
Yeah. Would you separate the statues and like the plaques and whatnot from like the whole changing the name of a school kind of deal?
My take, change the name of the school, like take down the statues that were put up during the fucking 40s to intimidate black people.
Oh, okay.
Put that all in a museum. Put the plaques up commemorating the battles. Let the history be known. But, like, don't celebrate a hateful history.
See, I can see a lot more sense in that because you really shouldn't celebrate history along certain lines, but you should definitely like. There's a lot to be learned even from like for an example that I'll use is like Hitler was an evil man, but there's still a lot that you could learn from that man. And he was very, very charismatic. And the fact that with AI, especially since we've been talking about AI a lot today, there's AI, or AI has been able to decipher and translate Hitler's speeches into English, and he's making he's his mouth is moving English style, and he's actually using words, and he who he sounds like. He sounds like Trump. Because he's not saying evil shit a lot of the time. He's like bringing the people together.
He is saying shit that people want to
hear.
Yes,
that's what I mean to say, yeah.
And, the evil shit is done sneakily behind the scenes.
Yeah, because why would you want to talk about that stuff? Unless you're like, the main thing he was doing that sounded evil was that he was demonizing them. But was he actually talking about like all the gassing he was doing and whatnot though?
Oh, hell no.
Okay.
Like, dude, like that was like, I don't know. It was sort of like, from what I understand, it was sort of Germany's open secret.
Yeah.
Where they had like certain camps that they would like show like certain like human rights groups or whatever. I don't know. I don't think it was the UN back then. Was it the UN back then? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like all of the human rights abuses were done in secret, all of that stuff. But like the thing was like, yeah, I haven't like looked into like translated Hitler speeches or anything like that. Never really like looked into like his reading or his perspective or any of that stuff. But I do believe, from the little bit I do know, just from what I've been taught in like, history classes and seeing it on History Channel and whatnot, is like, he might have like, he like in his like outward public speeches, like, yeah, he was engaging, especially in his earlier stuff, he was engaging in your classic like anti-Semitism, but like the scope of like what he was actually trying to do was, from what I understand, hidden from the world. But his thing was, he was able, like much like Trump, like he was able to get his base super riled up by just hitting those
basically those buzzwords.
Those buzzwords that those sort of autocrats know get people riled up. Like, and the reality is, like, whether it's Trump, Hitler, or whatever other politician, it is like politicians go and are just like giving you the word salad of words that they think their base wants to hear.
Oh man, do you ever get dressing on the word salad?
Dressing on a word salad. I guess the dressing on the word salad is all the fucking lies. Yeah, for real.
They're cream of lies.
But yeah, I don't know. I do think it's like history should be known, history should be learned, but like, history should be acknowledged where it's a dark spot, and you don't go around Germany finding like, preschools named after fucking like Joseph Goebbels or fucking Mengele.
We could literally be naming schools anything.
Well, I don't know any of the names of the German generals, but like you don't see Germany with the names of Nazi generals on them.
Mm-hmm.
And you get like, I don't know, like people could. I can't see a valid argument for why one would want to go and defend keeping a school the name of a Confederate general, given that it's like, I don't know.
I mean, it's certainly up to the people of the times. I mean, if people just want to change the name of a building, that's.
And like it really shouldn't like. I feel like it's a swallow your pride moment, or I don't know if that's what I want to say. It's just more of like be indifferent, because it's like the school, should be indifferent, or whoever's up in arms about the whole situation should just be indifferent, because it's not like they're taking away. It's not like they're even really taking anything away from the school. They're just changing the name, because like that whoever that the school was named after, as long as they're still. It's not like they're ripping them away from history the way that NASA tried to do with Jack Parsons,
Oh yeah, that's definitely.
Yeah, for real. But it's like, I don't know. It's like you consider the intentions of the people who are for the schools being renamed versus the intentions of the people who are against the schools being renamed. And I feel like there is like a sort of like imbalance, but that's just my perspective.
No, I feel you. But we were talking about Jews there for a second,
gosh,
I was wondering.
I was gonna say that earlier the fact that people haven't really been talking about Aaron Bushnell.
I was going Palestine, Hamas.
I already promised T-Dog that I already promised you I wouldn't like yell into the camera about that.
That's why I brought it up.
Okay, well, thank you.
Free
Palestine.
The only thing that I was, my buddy here, Blue, and I were having a conversation about this earlier in the day, and the main thing that I really wanted to just rehash on from that.
Yeah, sure.
Oh wow, he's going on a roll. Oh, he really is though. But there was just one point that I really wanted to like rehash and premise.
Can I see one of your tops?
Oh, of course.
Sorry.
Oh, you're all right. But see, it's just really messed up because Hamas ain't really a government. It's a governing body, I guess, at this point. And then, fuck Israel. Fuck them both as governments. The governments. That's the thing. Yeah. Fuck our government. Fuck any government at this point. Especially when they're getting into war like this and killing each other and killing civilians.
It's not even a war at this point.
It's not a war. It's just genocide. And the fact is,
they're not hiding it.
Yeah, and civilians are just dying. Those are the people I feel bad for, and that's why the situation's so messed up. Yeah.
Well, the fucked up thing is just like it's like they're sort of like half-ass like hiding it and doing a bunch of denying, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's crazy that it's like the facts, and I guess it's like everybody's algorithm is different, but it's like the facts are in our face, and we can choose to either ignore it or, accept it or deny it. But it's like, crazy that, how the narrative is at this point. Like I touched on it, and it's crazy to think I touched on it, like one of the smoke breaks that we did, and I was like, like it's wild that people are going and sort of like acting like the choice is like you either support a government that is a nation state which is perpetuating the deaths of tens of thousands of people, and then if you're not for that, people are acting like you're like, oh, well, you support a literal terrorist organization. It's like, are you kidding me? I don't understand why people cannot differentiate.
Yeah, when you just don't stand for injustice in general.
Yeah, and the fact that like people can't imagine why like your average taxpayer would have a problem with their tax money going to, you know, to rockets which are being used to kill innocent people in Palestine, or why college students wouldn't want their tuition money going towards groups and companies that perpetuate this violence. And they go and smear people as being pro-terrorist and anti-Semitic. It's like, no, like that's ridiculous. Like, yeah, there are small fringe portions of people out there who say or do horrible things under whatever guise. But it's like, you look at the Free Palestine movement, and it's not people who hate Jews. It is would seem to be 99% people who are just fed up with seeing the senseless violence. You know? But it's like the money talks, and it apparently can get like Mayor Adams to go and collaborate with these money groups to get college students arrested for protesting. But what can I do over here other than just roll a cigarette and write some tunes?
Yeah. There's not much we can do about it on our side of the river.
So just take care of the world that we have, where we're standing, this little square of the universe.
But yeah, but it is crazy though that I was like commenting that like way back last year, like right after the October 7th incident happened. And it would be like, you know, it's like that sentiment now for me times like 100.
Well, and see, that's the thing. It's really kind of crazy thinking about the last podcast that you and I did, and then and like talking about that whole thing, and to see how it's like evolved, and to see where it's currently sitting, and I just think about we're in a day and age, and it's really interesting because Gen Alpha or whatever it is, that's like the new gen after.
After the Zooms.
Yeah, no, not the Zooms. Who are those are the Zers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Gen Zers. But freaking.
Thank you.
You might have to like.
Because they're already gonna be doing this by second nature, but a lot of us especially are having to learn, like our age and older. Some only less than less of a portion of people that are older that do this than like our age, but we have to start learning how to like basically fact checking every source that we're looking at, like when it comes to like especially like when it deals with this kind of stuff or like world news and what's going on in the world around us, because it's not just and see that's the thing, these news agencies and whatnot, they're on social media too. It's not, they don't need commercials anymore. That no one needs cable to push the message that they're trying to push, whatever message anyone wants to push. But it's the fact that like and especially with AI does not help. And I didn't realize just the amount of pages that I've looked at or like used as sources of information a lot are AI generated, and I didn't realize. I mean, some of them are really good. They do their thing, but you know, some of them get some facts, you know, maybe a little misconvoluted, or you know, it might not be 100%. Like how with the whole like when who even bombed the hospitals.
It was so obviously is in most cases it would be like Israel trying to say that Hamas did it. Yeah. Everyone else saying that Israel did it, basically.
Yeah, and it just, and at least with one of those instances, I know that, you know, what I was saying earlier off camera about when they supposedly bombed a hospital, and, you know, that was getting pushed across all over the internet, and then you come to find out later that it wasn't that the hospital didn't get hit. It was the parking lot itself.
But wait.
Now people still probably died, yeah.
So wait, so you're gonna make me have to go and search this up. But I've heard that basically all of the hospitals have been effectively destroyed.
Well, I'm not
to
saying
no
that
capacity.
I'm not saying that none of them have been hit. It's just like more of me emphasizing the fact that we just need to like do our due diligence when we're like looking up information.
Yeah.
Because it's just really
Okay,
scary.
yeah, I get what you're saying.
It's just really scary to see how persuasive, for lack of a better term, propaganda can be nowadays.
Yeah, it's like I feel like be like the mainstream media like to like buzz up all sorts of buzz when it was like Fox News got exposed in their lies, and it's like who would have thought?
And see what's
But you have like pretty much I feel like if you pretty much any fucking corporate news agency, if you were gonna run if you had some magic AI truth checker that could buzz every lie they say, it would probably be going off all the time. And the whole like Palestine conflict, like there's been like mainstream news networks who have gotten in trouble when independent journalists have gone and found that they were running stories that were completely unsubstantiated, just complete propaganda. But
I remember back in the day, I was just looking it up too about, I don't know if it was like the Modernization Act, but I know like in the 40s they made that law against like American propaganda where they're just like openly able to like lie. I mean, obviously they do it now. I don't know if that ever like passed, but at this point it seems kind of irrelevant, with the fact that there's so many things that are either misconstrued or...
What, are you talking about propaganda laws or like consumer?
Well, it was
laws?
like U.S. government propaganda laws, but at this point we've been...
It's something that Obama signed into, because I believe it actually is something that they can do. I believe that it actually is a thing. I could be wrong.
The government, like the police can lie to you. Like that is one of the things they talk about. Like
even if it is like a law in place, it hasn't been respected. I mean,
but no, it's like police can lie, politicians can lie, propaganda can lie, like all of that, like all of it can lie. But I mean, like I feel like whether it like propaganda, I feel like is tricky because I feel like it goes like slightly beyond truth and lies, where it's like it's trying to spin a perspective. You can't say a perspective is necessarily a truth or a lie, but everybody can have their own opinion on what opinions are healthy or unhealthy, and I don't know, it's dangerous for a government that obviously has governments, because it's like every single government of the entire world, to be the arbitrator of the narrative of what is true or false, and trying to push a perspective more based on emotions or the pull of cash than, reality.
I was going to ask, why can't we lie too if they get to do all this lying? But then I just realized the big cosmic joke: we can lie.
We can, but that doesn't help anyone.
The golden rule is none of us just what is it? Just don't get caught is what I'm trying to say.
I never heard that golden rule.
Sorry, devil's advocate over here.
Well, no, I don't know. Like whether it's I feel like perpetuating lies, whether it's a person or a government, is never going to work in the person or the government's favor.
From the one thing comes 10,000 things.
Yeah.
And then you bring the 5 thoughts back into one.
Eternal truth.
So how's your guys' it's a bit of a tangent segue from all this, I feel like this is a very heated thing to be talking about. But how's your guys' year been panning out so far? Not like what you guys been up to, but like, have you guys been feeling about? We're basically halfway through the freaking year already. And I don't know about you guys, but these years are just getting faster and faster and faster. I don't know if that's coming with getting older, or if the times are just getting crazier, or if we're just getting more aware of the times being crazier.
I think it will definitely a bit of both, and all in between.
Yeah.
I know it's been a interesting year being the most sober that I have been in about 5 years. I know my body and my mind have definitely changed, but like the PTSD and everything else still kind of reverberates your brain.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I know this year's definitely been for healing, staying productive, and I don't think I've had like a productive year like this before. I've written a lot in the past, but I've definitely written more this year than I have in like the past 3 years combined.
How does that make you feel?
I've felt fire hit me after everything broke away.
Hell yeah.
So it was, it's something you have to like latch on into. I know even from like active Zen meditation, you have to remind yourself that like enlightenment's an everyday practice. And, you know, you can get stuck in loops and spirals, but you have to like draw back those emotions and thoughts that you got from those meditations. Because I know it's really easy to get lost. I know I've definitely lost myself a few times just working to pay bills and make sure my grandfather and I have electricity and food. But it's just good not to lose sight of your passions, and it's so easy to do when you run yourself ragged mentally and physically through just work and letting the stress get to you. But aside from just the mundane struggles and samsara, it's been pretty good.
93.
Oh, yeah.
Brother, what about you?
I've been knocking out my goals for the most part, staying consistent on what I've been trying to stay consistent on, so yeah, I can't complain.
Hell yeah, another.
What about
93.
you?
Well, also what T-Dog's been doing, this is the most sober I've been in the last 6 years, and it's been a very very nostalgic feeling is what I'll say, because it's been very weird reacquainting myself with being, and I say sobriety in a way of, I used to have a trifecta of I'm always drinking, I'm always smoking cigarettes, and I'm always high. All three, all at the same time. That's just how I'm living. And I was doing that for a good old 6 years until my body said, hey, you got to stop, man, because I messed up my serratus anterior about a month ago, and right up in here. I'm sorry. And it took a toll on me, and I realized I had to get easy on myself because I never felt inflammation. I was walking fire, but it was that very fact. I've told this to T-Dog a few times, the Goatman, that fear and guilt are really hard driving forces for me, and they can make me do crazy things because when I'm afraid to do something, I like to tackle it. I like to tackle my fears.
It's the perpetual cycle of being either an addict or drunk. You feel guilty for drinking, and then you feel guilty when you go back on it. And just the constant back and forth with yourself. It's something that I've learned how to tackle. It hurts too when like you have that flowing idea of like either not knowing where you need to be, or like where your foundations are.
Is there weed in there? Yeah, it's that.
There's a little bit in there right here.
Keep going, T-Dog.
But I know I've struggled a lot too with just internal identity too, a lot of anxiety and that fun shit. But I do think like once you can get past all of that, like the body trauma and the fact that like your brain wants you to be keyed up, like once you find your new normal, and just work within that, like, just, I got sleepy mind. But when you get your new normal put together and just start actively living again, it does make a difference. Because I know it's easy to get stuck in that perpetual limbo and always want to escape, but you always have to make that step yourself. I used to think, like, you know, there's an end all, like you look at it, you know, it's going to be good to go from here. No, it's a battle. Every day is its own form of battle, whether or not you want to keep doing what you're doing, or when you start losing motivation, you're like, you know, I can do this again. And then you get stuck doing the same old shit. You know, that's definitely what I wasn't trying to do this year, and it has been fucking chaotic. Lack of better words. But even within this type of mess, I still feel more comfortable and, like, more at peace, you know?
Yeah, I feel like, you know, like the monotony of day-to-day life can really, like, wear on anyone, but it's like even within that, like, there is, like, so much one can do to, you know,
The days pile up.
tackle the goals. Yeah, for real. And it's like, I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know. It's like progress is just like what you invest your days into. You know, like you will gain, like, whatever reality like you embark on, like you just go deeper into that until you turn away. But it is like, even in the monotony of, like, day-to-day life, it is like so much room for, you know, growth, exploration, learning, you know, and just taking on the things that one, like, you know, feels it, like, in their heart you should take upon you. Like, I remember the other day we were talking about it, like, with art, where I had, like, a buddy who asked me if, like, music ever felt like a job, and I was like, nah, because, like, if I didn't, like, create music, like, I'd be bored and then I'd go insane. Like, if I have to create a song, like, I have to create the song. Like, if I have something inside me where I have to go and make the painting, like, I have to make the painting or I'll go crazy, you know?
It digs at you for sure. You know, we don't all just make masterpieces every day. I mean, here and there, like every 10 poems, there's a good one that really sticks out to you. But, I mean, even those shitty works of art, or like whatever you deem it to be, you know, it's just a reflection of how you were feeling at that time. And that in itself is beautiful. Because you got to start somewhere. And I think a lot about when you know, I had a friend tell me the other day. She's like, you know, a lot of men just pick up and leave the state for a while, like in between they're like 20 to 25.
Within their first 10,000 days, that's your wandering days.
Yeah, it truly is. And I know I'm getting close to my 10,000 days on Earth.
You already are 10,000 days, brother.
Not yet.
Oh, you're not?
No, I'm close to it.
I am.
I haven't checked it in a while. But I definitely had to leave because, you know, when you don't really understand where your place is, and to be honest, I still don't know. I know I need to maintain and just keep living and enjoy the moment. But I know then I was searching for something that I already had, but you have to take it upon yourself to cultivate the words in your own style. And I know within especially the last 2.5 years, I've been able to figure out what works best for me writing-wise. And even then, there's always room for improvement in whatever craft you're into or pursue. Because I know even on my bad days, I'll still write journal entries and stuff like that, just to make sure I don't lose any flow.
Hell yeah.
But you got to do it. It's, you know, it is a job in a sense, because I know old Nietzsche man always said, you know, why do you write? And he's like, it's not that I want to, it's the fact that I have to.
Like, it just becomes so, it's even more than second nature. It's become more of like, it's so heavily a part of your routine that it's almost like a necessity.
Yeah, it's just like nicotine. It's it's gonna find its way out or in.
And it will find its way.
Hell yeah. Well, Steve, do you have any goals for this year?
For this year, to continue on with, as I've been randomly spouting to T-Dog, these are the days of healing. And if not for those around me, especially for myself. But I would like to think that we're all healing. Because I know we're only in our late 20s, but, you know, getting older is it's gonna come on quick. And we're at the prime time of being able to take care of our bodies, and to, like, if we stay on top of it now, we're gonna be thanking ourselves way down the line. Rather, if we were to just fall short and, you know, just be complacent now, I mean, yeah, there's some people that can, you know, just be a piece of shit all day, every day, and, you know, make it, just live past then, but not everyone can.
I have a poem here from the rough draft of the book about to be published that I think you'd appreciate.
Hell yeah.
Concerning that. It's called Our Places in Time. Music plays in moments alone, sitting in your car watching mist drift across the blue mountains. Seasons come and go, and every year there is a perspective gained at the cost of your old life. Don't deny yourself the beauty of change. You're so lovely when you let your hair down. The passage of time ages you like Roman wine. Wrinkles, stretch marks, moles, receding hairlines, creaky knees, lower spinal pain. You're an immaculate soul no matter what your physical vehicle in life has had to go through. We're not window shopping for a new life or hating what we see in the mirror, but accepting our places in time inside a floating dream.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Wait, I feel like you alluded to... Did you allude to another book after this one?
I'm gonna try to get 3 books published in 1 year, because I already got I got Year of Fire on the 7th of January, and I'm gonna release this on my grandmother's death day. Also, the death of the Unabomber last year. Ted Kaczynski died on the 10th of June last year.
Dang.
So it's definitely an odd date. So I figured it'd be nice to release my first paperback, which I'm gonna start doing with. I do want to edit my other 2 books into a size like this. I know this is a 6x9, and also make it a little bit more cheaper and keep the hardbacks for just collectors at this point. But go back, re-edit them, have another republish for folks that haven't had a chance to get it yet. Because I know times are hard, and I'm not mad about not a lot of people buying it yet, because I'm struggling sometimes to get loaves of bread for the house, and buying a $30 poetry book can definitely, you know, just extra funds when you get the chance. But the other book, too, I was going to try my hand at a novel, or a short story, rather.
That really excites me.
Hell yeah.
So I figured I have to just throw myself into it. It's no, like, wait till I get better. You get better while doing it, you know? And so I figured I have a few parts of it started. The working title, I know, is The Old Gods of Appalachia.
Hell yeah.
So I know that's definitely going to draw pieces of my life and a few other people's lives, since that's my big inspiration, especially reading old Kerouac. The best stories he wrote about were mainly, just the characters in his book were always a lot better than, like, the character he played most of the time. But just reading him a lot last year helped me out, and also, like, improved my writing. Just how free and open, like, just the beat writers were back in the day. And then I know Kerouac and Bukowski got some mixed reviews like Aleister Crowley, but I still appreciate all their works. But that is a hefty goal. I know I've been writing a bucket list recently and trying to get a few people to add to it. So we all have active goals to strive for and, really remember what makes us feel alive and green and not, feeling like it's impossible to set out and do the things we've always wanted to do. It's going to take some time, but, that's all we got for the time being.
Like for me, I'm pretty excited for tomorrow because tomorrow will be the first time I have drank in over a month. Like the alcohol has actually, guys, blue, has been over a month. Cigarettes, no. But we're reworking on that one. Weed, I'm never stopping. I'm never stopping. This is my bread and butter right here. If I stop, I've already learned the hard way twice that if I take more than a couple days off, especially if I take like a week or more off, it's gonna be a bad time when I come back.
Yeah, the last time I actively smoked weed, I felt myself drift between the 6 known realms in Buddhist religion. For a while, I was definitely in the realm of hungry ghost, and then I had to for some reason, and I had to call the old Frater SK here because I was just geeked bad.
Is that when you brought the 5 thoughts into one?
No, that was an edible I took with my ex.
Okay.
They were talking shit to me. They're like, Tristan, you got to eat the whole thing or you're not gonna feel it, and yeah, I definitely felt it. Yeah, I couldn't take a shower. I didn't know how to take a shower. I just laid down in the bathtub, and I can't remember if I said that on the last smoke break, but I couldn't get up until inside my brain, I'm like, if I get all of my 5 thoughts and put them into one, I'll be able to know what reality is. And as soon as I imagine 5 thoughts being put into one consciousness, I've stood up, took the rest of my shower, and definitely ate some instant pasta and watched Adventure Time on the couch.
What a god.
And then I remembered why the number 49 was important.
Wait,
because the Buddha, when he sat under the Bodhi tree, I kept thinking of what is 49? What does that mean to me?
What's 48?
I guess it's just 48.
So what's so special about 49?
I had a few dreams where I would just keep dying at 49 and being reincarnated to live another 49 years and then die. And then I kept thinking about the active passing away of thoughts. That one day when I had to put the 5 thoughts into one and then the one becomes none. And I'm like, I kept thinking towards the very end, because I think the afterglow, is that the right word for it? Coming down off an edible is one of my favorite feelings. I don't like peaking on edibles, but I do like how I feel when it starts to fade down. Your body just feels so nice and tucked in.
That's me after how do I put it? A kink of mine, I guess, is when I get my back scratched, or I've learned when also if I just get smacked or anything, because it's not the initial pain that I like. It's that afterburn where they're the burn's still lingering a little bit, almost after you had a fresh cut.
That's poetry.
And then
it's just like taking a shot of Evan Williams on a hard day or after a hard day.
You ain't wrong there, brother.
Could I smoke one more cigarette with you, brother? And I'll give you $1 for this one.
I'm so proud of us. You've smoked multiple jacks. He smoked his second spliff. I smoked on a second joint.
I'm definitely a little toasted right now.
I hope so.
Because whenever I start feeling comfortable in myself, I'm like, you know what? There's other forces at play here.
Oh no, you sound like Saruman.
Yeah. I had to bring. Has Bodhidharma been here the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder if he's on.
Yeah, that's.
Can't tell if he's in frame or not.
But yeah, Bodhidharma is the first Zen patriarch, and he was so entranced with his meditations that he would fall asleep a lot, and he got really pissed off with this, so he cut off his eyelids to avoid to avoid that ever happening again. And from his eyelids, the first tea bushes in China grew. as the old myths go.
So he's got green eyes, like how some people have a green thumb.
Yeah, he was an interesting man in China. He came from India, but just had multiple odd features. But he was a wonderful monk.
Oh, speaking of monks, my goodness, I already showed this.
It's okay. I'm the Yagi. I'm the Yagi man.
But anyway, I already showed this to Mr. Yogster over there. They're monks, like with the orange robes and the shaved heads and everything, walking down through Virginia.
Yeah, I've seen the pictures on Facebook.
I was telling Mans over there that I really want to like give him some I just want to help him out. But then he gave the idea. It's like, give him some water and some fruit and whatnot. And I'm just like, that sounds really dope. I just want to know where they're at right now. And they're just walking for peace. See, this is a kind of a tangent. Second joint got me rolling now. Freaking. I've explained this to T-Dog over there before I came back, but I've really stepped into this. I'm realizing who I am as a person. And over the last almost decade, it's like, a lot of people have, like, and this is without me even, like, saying anything. Just me being me around people. I've had people, call me a or just a traveling soul, or I've even got a shaman a couple of times. But definitely I feel resonates deeply with that traveling vibe. But there's another moniker that I more so heavily myself go by, or like to go by. Like, I feel like a wanderer, or I don't feel like I am a wanderer, and I wander a lot. And there's a reason I'm bringing this up, because I feel like there needs to be less, not less, but how do I put this? Like, not everyone needs to do something great in life. Not everyone needs to leave a legacy. I mean, it's nice to romanticize, but not everyone has to do it. Like, there can be people that just live. Like, just live to live. There can be people that are and that...
Sometimes that's the hardest thing to do, is just to live.
Really, that is like the sort of like idea of like Taoism.
And see, because I already know life is going to continue on with or without me, and I don't really care about leaving a legacy other than having a child, kind of deal. And if that happens, that happens. If it don't happen, it don't happen. I'm not really stressing it at this exact moment in time. But until then, I'm very much enjoying these wandering times of my life, and this is the first time in my life where I'm finally being okay with it and accepting and that's who I am, because a lot of the time I would put too much into the thought of like, oh, people aren't really going to like me because I'm being a sack of poop and I'm just, loafing around, it seems like, or, not really having to care for things. But ever since I've just like kind of like stepped into that role of wanting to be a wanderer and just wandering and just wanting to take in as much knowledge and seeing as much of the world as I can before I die, like, that's what makes me, and women, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful women, fiction and nonfiction. They things just make me feel alive, brothers. Yeah, I see that too.
What's happening with the light?
Give us his energy right now. When you get passionate about what you love,
it feels you. It feels you. It's a vibration. It's frequency. It's something. But fudge, that all got me.
It's powerful.
But what made me bring this up to T-Dog when I was talking to him about this, and when I finally accepted it, is that I meet a lot of random people when I wander that feel like wizards. Some of them look like wizards. Like, they look kind of crazy, and they have like really long beards, and then they just give me like a phrase of truth. And then that's the last I ever see of them. Sometimes I might see them riding a bike through town, and I'm like, holy hot damn. But there's just a lot of positivity and a lot of insight to be gained from like some of these, interesting folks that also wander and are just doing whatever it is they do. I don't know what it is.
There's a Buddha in everyone.
There really is. But yeah, that's a another goal of mine for this year is just to enjoy my wandering, because as I said, this is a year of healing, but within healing I can still wander and still take in as much. It's what I've done every other year, but every other year I've just been working my 9 to 5 a day in and day out, and I don't know how Mr. Boy over here does it. You're a freaking truck, man.
It's the Leo, man. All Leos are like that.
I only got a Leo and Mars in my ascendant, man. I'm a loafing Libra on Moon and Sun, so.
Pretty sure I'm a Libra rising.
Me too.
So I can at least relate to you through that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I am too. So.
Well, I think we should probably wrap it up here.
Oh yeah, we've been going for a while.
Do you have, either of you have anyone you would like to shout out or anything you would like to plug?
I'm gonna do this. What I do every time. Well, this will now be my third time that I plug T-Dog's work, because I don't have anything to plug. 'Cause like I said, I don't care about a legacy really, other than Bitcoin. I'm stacking them sats. Oh my goodness, it's a crazy time to be alive. Let me tell you. But yeah, we are this bad boy. I do not know what that says.
It's slice of life.
This is book 3, The Rise and Fall of the Goatman and the Birth of a Green Hermit. Love is the law, love under will. This is in dedication of all those who have stayed with me along this insane path, and to those who have traveled into the next realm. 93.
93.
All I have to say too is that I definitely love my friends and family and the people that have supported me this entire way, and I'm hoping that I can be of more use to the folks on my path as well. I know I'm a backsliding bodhisattva, but we always find our way through. And this year definitely is for healing and making active steps towards making other people's lives, and especially ourselves, a little bit better than before. It's going to be fucking book mode, album mode, and travel mode this year.
Hell yeah.
What about for you? What are you plugging?
Well, I'd like to plug a project with my brother, Purpless People. The new song, Votive, is out on all the major streaming platforms. And, other new tracks to be looking forward to on the way. But, next month I'll have the official release date for the album.
I'm looking forward to that. Are you going to put out any physical media soon? Because I know definitely...
Like CDs? Or
CDs or like a shirt or anything like that?
I mean, that will definitely be to come, yes. There will definitely be CDs of the album. As for merch, I mean, that will definitely be something that will happen, but that is to be announced. That is
I'll have to bootleg my shit soon.
Hey, if you want to do that, you could download any of the things from SoundCloud. Everything on SoundCloud is on Spotify.
I'll start hustling discs out for you to people and give it a listen.
I mean, you can make
give you the money.
Personal playlist. You don't need to hustle that shit. I want it to just be accessible. But yeah, there'll be a CD of the album, and eventually I'll probably put both of the favorite Shade EPs onto a CD. And at some point, my brother and I will have worked up enough material with Purpless People to go and put things on CDs. But as for merch, that's up in the air. That's up in the ether, but it is something that'll happen eventually.
Is your face going to be on it?
Who knows?
I really hope so.
I'll probably...
Your mouth open too on a vinyl. Yeah, that would be beautiful.
Or have someone do your face in wood block art style.
What?
That has become my favorite art style. It's pretty neat.
Well, maybe one day.
I just want to see the ridges in your face, and you just look like a weirdo, a cursed image. You get cursed.
I become like the plank from Ed, Ed and Eddie.
Yeah, dude, that'd be tight.
Well, to see that and much more exciting stuff, be sure to tune in whenever I might drop again. And until then, well, I guess I'll just see you on the next smoke break. Stay peace, y'all.
93.
93.
93.
It's been fun, guys.